Air India international flight cuts. Latest news. Air India has announced major cuts to its international flight schedule from June to August, including an almost 40% reduction in North American operations and substantial reductions in flights to SAARC and Southeast Asian destinations. International routes affected by Air India's flight cuts. Air India has removed 145 weekly international flights, resulting in an overall 27% reduction in international operations across multiple regions. North America hit hardest. North America, Air India's most important international market, has seen a major impact. Weekly flights reduced from 51 to 33, 39% decline. Temporary suspension of routes such as Delhi, Chicago, Delhi, Newark, Mumbai, New York. However, Mumbai, Newark has received 4 additional flights, taking the route to 7 weekly services. Europe sees moderate cuts. Air India has withdrawn about 34% of flights on several European routes, including Paris, Copenhagen, Milan, Vienna, Zurich, Rome. Unaffected routes: London, Manchester, Amsterdam. Sharp cuts in Asia-Pacific routes. The steepest reductions have been in Southeast Asia, SAARC, and the Far East, with about 57% of flights withdrawn to destinations such as Kathmandu, Dhaka, Colombo, Bangkok, Shanghai, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Ho Chi Minh City. Singapore services significantly reduced. A total of 21 weekly flights from Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai to Singapore have been withdrawn. Australia routes also affected. Flights from Delhi to Melbourne reduced from 7 to 4 per week. Sydney reduced from 7 to 4 per week. Why Air India has cut international flights. Air India's flight reductions are mainly due to the West Asia conflict, which has forced airlines to avoid affected airspace for safety reasons, leading to significantly longer routes. Travel times to North America have increased by 5 to 6 hours, requiring refueling stops in cities such as Vienna and Copenhagen. The situation has worsened for Indian carriers because Pakistan has barred Indian Airlines from using its airspace since April 2025, following Operation Sindoor, placing them at a competitive disadvantage compared to foreign airlines such as Lufthansa. Wider impact on Indian Airlines. The disruption is not limited to Air India. Other Indian airlines have also reduced international operations. Indigo, 21% reduction in international flights in April. SpiceJet, Akasa Air, Air India Express, over 50% cuts, though on smaller international networks. Why Air India has been hit the hardest. Air India has faced the biggest impact because it is the only Indian airline operating North American routes and has a strong presence across several European destinations, unlike Indigo, which is still expanding internationally. By April, jet fuel prices had risen by 130% due to tensions in the Gulf. Since fuel accounts for nearly 40% of airline operating costs, this has sharply increased financial pressure. Airlines have responded by imposing fuel surcharges and increasing ticket prices, but there are concerns that excessively high fares may reduce passenger demand. Air India's network rationalization is aimed at limiting mounting losses amid operational disruptions. The airline reported a 26,700 Indian rupees crore loss in FY 2025-26, driven by the Pakistan airspace ban, rising costs, and reputational setbacks after the Ahmedabad crash. Global aviation faces disruptions and cost pressures. The aviation disruption is part of a broader global trend triggered by regional conflict and soaring fuel prices. Gulf carriers have been hit the hardest, with the International Air Transport Association reporting a 61% decline in international passenger traffic in March. Beyond the Gulf, airlines are cutting operations to manage costs and improve efficiency. The Lufthansa Group has cancelled 20,000 short-haul flights until October to save jet fuel and streamline long-haul connectivity. Qantas has also reduced capacity, cutting domestic flights by 5% and international services by 2%, while withdrawing some routes such as the Bengaluru, Sydney service despite expanding select Europe operations.